Too sticky to be useful. Harry Coover was working on clear plastics for gun sights during the Second World War. One of the compounds he was testing was a cyanoacrylate. It stuck to everything it touched, instantly and permanently, and it ruined the equipment it was tested on. That made it useless for a gun sight. It was set aside. 9 years later, Coover was working on heat-resistant canopies for jet aircraft, and cyanoacrylates came up again. A colleague, Fred Joyner, spread some between the two prisms of a refractometer to measure it. The prisms bonded. They were expensive, and they were now one object. This time, Coover recognized what he had. The thing that made the compound a failure was the only thing anybody needed from it. It required no heat, no pressure, and no mixing. It simply needed the trace of moisture that sits on almost every surface. It went on sale in 1958. Its most striking use came later, in medicine. A version of the same chemistry can close a wound without stitches, and it was used in the field during the Vietnam War to hold injuries together long enough to get people to a surgeon. The wallpaper nobody wanted. Alfred Fielding and Mark Chavons were trying to make a modern wall covering. Their idea was to seal two shower curtains together in a way that trapped air between them, producing a plastic wallpaper with texture. It worked. Nobody wanted it. They tried again. The same material, they thought, would make good greenhouse insulation. That did not take either. The third attempt was the one. IBM had just announced a new computer, and computers of that size had to be shipped, and shipping meant vibration and impact. Somebody made the connection between fragile machines and a sheet full of trapped air. In 1959, the material began protecting IBM machines in transit. The company that made it is called Sealed Air, and it is still a large business. It is worth sitting with the shape of that story. The product was not changed to succeed. The bubbles were the same bubbles. It failed twice because it was pointed at the wrong problem, and it succeeded the moment somebody pointed it at the right one. The glue that was not strong enough. Spencer Silver was a chemist at 3M, trying to develop a very strong adhesive for aircraft construction. In 1968, he produced something that was the opposite of what he was aiming for. It stuck, but weakly. You could peel it off. Then you could stick it down again, and it would still work. It left nothing behind. By any normal measure, this was a failed adhesive. Silver did not think so. He spent about 5 years inside the company, giving talks about it, trying to find somebody who could think of a use. Nobody could. The use arrived through a colleague, Art Fry, who sang in a church choir. He marked hymns with scraps of paper, and the scraps kept falling out. He wanted a bookmark that would stay put and then come away without damaging the page. He remembered Silver's adhesive. The product still took years. Coating one side of paper so that it peels cleanly every time, without tearing, is harder than it sounds. Early test markets did badly, mostly because people could not tell what the thing was for until they had one on their desk. 3M eventually gave away large numbers of free samples in one city, and the reorder rate settled the argument. The Post-it note went on general sale in 1980. 12 years after the glue, and 6 years after somebody thought of the bookmark,